Hey, we're here with Scott Hess. A lot of you guys in the monster truck industry have heard of him. Some of you know him. Some of you have seen some of the crazy videos. He was one of the early Wildmen of the sport, and we're going to try to learn some history here with Scott. Tell us about how Hercules developed. You originally had this show truck. I remember as a kid. Scott's from Auburn, Indiana, right here where the museum is and where I'm from. And I remember as a kid, what year would that have been? Like 84, 83 when you had your first, it was Hercules, but it was a street truck.
It was a street truck. It was a 78 Chevy pickup. It was the early 80s when I acquired that truck. I bought it from a guy on 35s and escalated as tires got bigger with 38s and 40s and stuff. So I would say 82, 83 is when it was the kind of getting out of hand with really getting nice show truck, but it was getting so high that we're getting a lot of bumper law rules back then, and it was kind of progressing to where truck wasn't really streetable anymore.
Well, I remember as a kid, we'd come to town or something and we'd happen to maybe pass him, and you know, you see that truck coming and going by, and I just remember going, oh man, that thing is the neatest truck in our town. He had probably the best, or by far the coolest Chevy truck running around town. Now tell us about the 44s, because I love the story on the 44s when he first put them on it.
Well, my wife Lisa and I, she got into the trucks just as well as I did while we dated, and went to a lot of the shows, Gravel Rama and the jamborees and things, and you know, always took the trucks. And right about time we got married in '83 is just when they were debuting the 44-inch tires, the Monster Mudders and the Groundhogs, and I didn't have the money to get them, so we got married in '83, and we took the money from our wedding money, and she let me go buy new 44s for the
Yeah,
truck.
no, that's a committed wife, because how many wives would say, yeah, that's our wedding money out there in the driveway, them 44-inch tires. But
Yeah.
so then you so now we went from that, and you used to take it to a lot of car shows and stuff. I remember you being at all the car shows, and then you went to Gravel Rama in what year would that have been? About 85, 86 probably?
Oh, we started going to Gravel Rama back before I had that maroon truck. We went there. I graduated high school in '79. We used to go all through high school, and just out of high school, we'd go up to the Silver Lake Sand Dunes, you know, on the Memorial Day weekends and the 4th of July weekends. And then we started doing, I'd say around 80, 81, we started going to Gravel Rama. And then whenever the four-wheel jamboree started in Indianapolis, back when it was out at the old Marion County Fairgrounds out east of town. So I'd say 81, 82, we were taking the truck to whatever truck we had at the time.
And now tell us, that's kind of how you got bit by the bug of monster trucks. You were at the Gravel Rama, and was it Steve Dane that you helped out with King Kong? Everybody's heard of King Kong.
We happened to be there a couple of days early, and Steve Dane, which is the brother of Jeff owns the truck, and Steve was running the truck, and they had, I don't know how he'd ended up, because I don't believe they paid for monster trucks. I think somehow he just came there for some notoriety, and we had to be there a day or so early, and just kind of hanging around with him, and I just got hooked bad. Hung out with him all weekend. He let me ride with him on he didn't do any car crushing, but he did, you know, just some displays and some driving up and down they used to do sand drag race, and they had real fast drag rails there, and he'd run the monster truck down that. And then when we were breaking it down at the end of the weekend, he let me do a little lap with it around the parking lot, and that hooked me right there.
Okay, so then that winter is when you come home and started building the truck. Now, you know, tell us a little bit about that. You started out just like everybody else. You started with deuce and a half axles and kind of learned the hard way on everything.
That's right. We the big rod and custom show here in Fort Wayne, Indiana was always every first weekend of December every year, and I'd been in that several years. And the big trophy was the People's Choice Award, and I always wanted it, and I'd never got it. And we did a lot of things to the truck that year, and I think it was the same year I saw Steve, and I come home and we did a couple things to the truck, and I took it to that show, and I told everybody, I said, if I win the People's Choice, I'm going home and cutting the truck up. And everybody just couldn't believe it. And I won that big trophy, and we come home, and I went and bought a 2.5-ton Army truck, just bought a whole complete truck off of a guy over in Huntington and brought it home and started trying to figure it out. My dad about killed me. He came in the shop, and the truck was totally sitting there with nothing but a cab on the frame, and axles gone, motor gone, hood, bed, everything gone, and he couldn't believe it. He says, "You'll never ever get it back together."
So then, of course, you had the deuce and half for about a year or close to it. I remember seeing it at one of the jamborees, and Holman was there too. Bobby Holman, a lot of you guys know Bobby Holman, Holman's Beast, and he was kind of in competition with you, wasn't he?
Yeah, we got to know each other through Gravel Rama and back on 40s to 44s, and ironically, we both went home that winter and took the trucks from 44s and made monster trucks and did not know the other guy was doing it. So it was total. We never really told the other one that we were thinking about doing it. You know, we were both kind of getting that bug, but it was kind of weird. We both kind of progressed at the same time without knowing it.
Okay. So then you went from that. Then you give it the newer face look, which is what this model is. That's when he put the 5-ton axles under it, and he changed it to Hess's Hercules and put number 2 on it because there was some other trucks out there using the name and didn't want to have to fight with everybody on the name. Tell us a little bit about that when you did that. That was another big move.
Yeah, whatever year Chevy changed the 86 or 87 when they changed the slope front end, it was just really sharp. So we wanted to bring the truck out again with some new updates. So we did the front end and put the 5 tons under it. And I believe we had a little more horsepower at that time. We were running a Gerardo fuel injection system. We were one of the first guys running alcohol. We didn't have a blower then, but we were running. A guy down here and developed, Don Gerardo, a really nice tunnel ram injection system that was making some pretty good horsepower. So we were experimenting with the alcohol and trying to figure that out, early on with big enough fuel lines and everything it takes to make an alcohol work. So we brought it out and called it Hercules II.
And you had a buddy at the chrome shop, because I remember you had probably more chrome on your truck than anybody else, but you had a local chrome shop here.
Yeah, local guy. If I had to buff it, so we'd hire Goldsmith or a couple other guys to buff it for us, and then I'd backdoor it into a local plating short. But anything that came off the truck, if it was removable, it was chrome.
Yeah. So it was just a super piece of artwork.